Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today we are doing another puzzle with me in real time video. This is going to be for the Ravensburger puzzle called Balloons. It's part of their puzzle moments line. This is the first of me trying the style from them. It's a small 300 piece. We're just gonna get started and I'll finish the intro while I'm already puzzling. So let's just get into this. All right, so we're just gonna get into this puzzle, which is just like nice and soft and relaxing looking. So I'm excited. Of course, there's hot air balloons, which is my favorite thing in puzzles. So it's going to be a good one, but we're only doing a 300 piece today for a couple reasons. First up, it's super early in the morning. I'll talk about why in just a few minutes, but super early in the morning, so doing a larger piece count is just something that mentally I'm not prepared for. But another reason why I'm shortening it down to 300 pieces is because these types of videos, as much as I love putting them out there, they're really difficult as far as dealing with the amount of data that I'm using. So the video is both on my camera and on my phone, and having to move all that data for the videos from one device to another to my computer is just really time consuming. So the phone part isn't too bad because it's an iPhone. I have a MacBook, so they communicate pretty well together. The content from my camera to my computer is a whole different story. So that in itself usually takes quite a while, at least an hour, maybe two. And then usually when I'm doing other videos, it's not too much of an issue going forward because once it's on my computer, I can edit it. I'm shrinking it down to a much smaller, manageable size. So that way when I go to render the video so that I can post it on YouTube, it usually takes maybe 15 minutes because I'm only dealing with a much smaller version of that video. However, when I'm doing this style of video, I'm taking those two huge, large bits of data, the two different videos, and I'm putting it into one video, and they're not getting any smaller. In fact, the content is now twice as large, and it takes at least 6 hours for my computer to do what it needs to do to make it an actual video for YouTube. So it's a lot of different steps that you have to do to get it to work from where I'm filming it now to an actual video for YouTube. So having a gigantic puzzle makes it really difficult to do these types of videos. And I would do them more if I didn't have to do larger puzzles. So I think going forward for these styles of videos, I mean, I could always just do a portion of the puzzle, but I feel like part of the fun is that I'm doing a full puzzle with you and you can just use it as a podcast. I'm like puzzling with you. Super fun concept, but I think for me, as far as like my current computer situation, I just have to keep it to smaller amounts of video, which I will say my computer, it still works perfectly well. There's still plenty of memory on it because I'm constantly doing a little bit of maintenance to it. But I do think it's at like the sluggish stage where it just I don't think I need to replace it just yet, but I do think with how much I use it, it's just getting a little tired, you know? So I think I'm just gonna stick to these smaller videos, which I hope you don't mind, but it just means like I can do fun, small 300 pieces, or maybe I can try to do 500 piece. I think what really hurt me last time was I was doing that 750 piece puzzle, which was a challenging puzzle on its own, but the issue was just, it was so large. Like I think when I was rendering it, it was like 200 gigabytes. Like it's so much memory. So it is what it is. That's why I'm doing smaller piece count today. As far as why I'm up so early, that's a different story. So I woke up at 4 this morning with Dave. He usually works up between 3:30 and 4 every morning. And I decided to wake up early with him this week because we are preparing for our Disney World trip, which is a very spontaneous trip. I'll talk about that in a second. But I wanted to get a little head start to adjusting to East Coast time because we are going to Disney And we are the type of people who want to be there at rope drop so we can get as much done as we can in the morning. And then if we go back to the room midday, that's fine. Then go back to the park later. Like that's our normal style, because usually midday it's like hot or it's super busy or there's like crying kids. So we usually like take a break midday. Sometimes we'll stick it out and just like leave probably like 4 or 5, usually after dinner. But we're trying to get the most of this trip and just also relax. So we do want to at least get there early so we can make the most of the mornings, because the mornings is where you can get so much done and make the most of Genie if that's what we're going to be doing. And so because we are going on the East Coast and I wanted to make the most of my time there, I'm trying to like prevent jet lag if I can. The last time I went East Coast was for the Puzzle Jam South event, and I struggled so much with sleep because I'm usually a night owl. I usually go to bed super late. I'm either editing or puzzling, and so for me, waking up early, especially on East Coast time, would be really difficult. I mean, I don't wake up super late here. I usually wake up around 7, but there, that's 10 o'clock, and that's way too late for a Disney day. So we are trying to make the most of that. So waking up here at 4 this week before we go will mean that it's 7 o'clock there, which is a lot easier to adjust than what I'm currently doing. So that's my current setup, is that I'm trying to just prepare for Disney, and that way I can enjoy my time there. I'm so excited. So this is as I mentioned, a very, can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, a very spontaneous trip. We were really in a funk, I feel like towards the end of December, just because it's been so rainy, which I knew that's what we signed up for. This is our first winter in Washington State, and we knew it was going to be dreary, and it was like, we understood that, but I think in the reality of things, it was much harder to adjust than what we had anticipated. We lived in California for 9 years, so adjusting to a whole different climate for winter, at first it was exciting, but it's not like a true winter like I'd see in Maine, where it's snowy and comforting, and it's just like a beautiful scenery. I mean, winter does get old in Maine, don't get me wrong, but I think for us here, it started raining in September and it hasn't stopped. Like the summer was beautiful, but since the summer ended back in September, late September, early October, it pretty much has been like nonstop rain. So we knew that that's what we were expecting, but I think in the reality, we're just like, oh, this is a lot of rain, which we don't regret our decision moving. I think it just is an adjustment and something that we now know going forward. We're just gonna have to take like a mid-winter break, which we love to travel, and we normally do a couple trips a year, but we are realizing we need to prepare for that sooner. So we're already thinking of what we're gonna be doing next January, just so we can have a little break from the rain. I feel like I'm just like moving pieces around. I feel like I don't have all the pieces that I need. It's a trickier puzzle than I was wanting to do. So it was on actually New Year's Day. It was right before my birthday. We were contemplating doing some type of vacation. At first we were kind of touring between Disneyland or Disney World in California. It's a lot easier for us to travel there because it's the same time zone, you know? So it's only like a 2.5-hour flight versus a 7-hour flight plus a layover. So it's like a full day of travel, plus you're having to deal with the time difference. So we originally were thinking about doing something just at Disneyland, but the pricing there, it would have been quite pricey for just a few days. And we've done Disneyland so often. It's been quite a few years since we've done Disney World. We are big Disney fans, in case you didn't get that vibe. And so we then were like, well, if we go East Coast, we can do a couple things where my parents are living there right now, so we can maybe visit them for a day. We have some friends there, so we were thinking maybe we could like see them for maybe a minute. So we decided to do Disney World, and we booked it like the day after my birthday, so January 4th is when we booked the flights. And so then the flight situation got kind of tricky because if you know that all those Boeings are now grounded, and that was one of the planes that we needed to go East Coast. So we were originally flying Alaska, and we were, as it's been getting closer, we've been like, I don't know, what should we do? What should we do? Should we cancel? And it was kind of nerve-wracking because we're like, we don't want to know like the day before that we have to change our flight, and then everyone's changing our flight at the same time. I don't have any corners. I'm missing corners. So we ended up deciding that we would just change our flight. We were able to get a credit for the one that we already purchased. So we are just thinking of that as like just prepaying for our trip in Maine, which we're thinking about going in the summer. We are preparing for that vacation. So that was something that we were just like, well, if we don't use it for this round, we'll just save for it for a next trip, which is fine. You know, it's just kind of annoying because we had everything prepared and then we had to change everything. We are having to leave a day early because of the flights. And what is kind of annoying, so we were originally going to try to stay with the airline, but every single flight that goes West Coast from Alaska Airlines is that same style of plane. So we are staying on property, which for us is super exciting. We've never done that before as adults. We normally will stay at a RCI because my parents have timeshare. We get to use it. It's much more affordable to do it that way. But since we were so last minute, there weren't a ton of options. And all of them were more hotel room style, which I feel like one of the benefits of doing some type of timeshare is that you get like a full resort situation and you can have a kitchen and all that stuff. So we were there wasn't a lot of options for us to do that. So we did decide to stay on property, which is a first for us, and we're so excited. We're kind of doing it like, if we'll do it this once, and if we love it, awesome. If we don't, we're not going to do it again, you know? So we were able to get like a last week of January special or something like that. So still expensive, and I'm so excited. It's a vacation that we've been wanting to do for quite some time, and I just think timing is working out. So that is what is happening. In a couple days, we're going to be going down to Florida, which I'm so excited for. And I will be seeing my parents for the last couple days of our trip. And one thing that's really funny, so me and Dave always joke, kind of kiddingly, is that we just don't have too many friends in person because all of our friends are just everywhere. And I feel like that might be the case for a lot of people, but definitely for us, because we've moved so often that we have just friends in all places. So we're going to Florida, and actually while we're there, we have some friends that live in Florida there that might come visit us, because we might meet in Disney Springs. We haven't seen them in a few years. And then we have some friends that are actually from Maine. They were in our wedding party. And so they are going down at the same time just by coincidence. So we might see them during our trip as well. So we get to see two couples that we haven't seen in ages, but they both live in separate states. We're coming from Washington. We have some friends that, so we are realizing we have lots of friends. They're just living everywhere. So we have our friends that of course are in California. We have friends that live in different ports. So we have friends that live in Virginia. We have friends that live in Japan. So we have plenty of friends. They're just not here. So we're excited to see some of the people we haven't seen in years. One of Dave's best friends from college we're going to hopefully see while we're down there. So we're excited about it, and I think it's going to be a great trip. We aren't doing anything really special in Disney other than we're going to Disney. We don't plan on doing a ton of like sit-down restaurants, just because for us it takes time out of your day. Maybe we'll do one or two, but I'm just so excited. It's going to be awesome. Will I vlog it? Maybe a little bit. I do it more for our memory than for like a YouTube video. So maybe there'll be a video of our trip, just like a shortened version. But I'm just really excited about it. So it should be a good time. I just can't believe how fast it all came together. I mean, I can plan a trip pretty quickly. We've, again, traveled quite a lot, and so getting it all situated only took me like a day or so, and it's going to be a good time. I feel like I'm getting nowhere with this puzzle. Definitely a trickier, softer, maybe not the best to do in this type of situation puzzle, but I am enjoying it. So that's my thoughts currently. Obviously, I like the hot air balloon. It's just a softer puzzle. So we'll see how far I can get in this. I also am missing some edges. So I'm gonna go into pieces for a minute. And as always, I'd love to know which puzzle you're doing. So let me know down in the comments if you're puzzling with me. It's just, I love these styles of videos as a concept. I just, again, need to have the shorter versions of these. So yeah, I like them. Anyways. Ooh, my nose is running today. The cats have been wild this morning. I think they're just like, whoa, mom's up. And so they've been very curious of why I'm awake. So if you hear some boys zooming around, that is what is happening. I did write some notes for me because sometimes I like run out of things to say, which is fine. You know, we can just puzzle together in quiet, but I also like having speaking moments. So I have a actual list of stuff here in case I want to talk a little bit more. If you ever are on my Facebook group, I often do the little like behind the scenes videos, and they're like little one take wonders where I just film it one sitting. Usually they're like 8 to 10 minutes long, just talking about stuff that's happening behind the scenes. So if you like this like informative, just knowing what's happening in my life type thing, I would follow the Facebook group because I do them usually about once a month just to like catch you up on everything. And it's just a fun way to keep in touch with you. So yeah, in case you like that. Anyways, let's see, what else do I have? I have Disney World plans, yep. Friends as adults, yeah. It's just a challenge, you know, especially since we have moved quite a bit, and it is what it is. It's part of the job. But we are thinking we are going to be here probably about 10 years as far as we know, depending on, of course, Dave's work. But as of right now, we are thinking we are here for quite a while, which is just really exciting. It's always nice to have some type of plan, because I always feel like my mom always calls it tune in daily, because we never know what our life will be. So we're lucky when we lived in Temecula. Also, some of this is by choice. You know, when we get a little itch to move somewhere, we have the option sometimes to put his name in the hat, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But we have moved quite a bit, and it's fine. You know, it's fun. We get to explore new places. But it is also nice to know that we don't have to worry about moving for quite some time, and knowing that we can settle in and make some friends and gather a community. So it's nice to be in a place for a while. We were in California for quite some time, but there was actually a year-long break where we were in Mississippi. And that one was a very spontaneous, unplanned situation, because if you're ever wondering, I don't think I've ever talked about our Mississippi year, but the reason why we were in Mississippi, if you are US, you might remember this. It's when the Fitzgerald over in Japan collided, and so Dave's company works on Navy destroyers, and so they needed an emergency team to go down to Mississippi to help with the repair and the overhaul for that damaged ship. So we were told, I want to say at the time, we were given like a month's notice, because they had to transport the ship from Japan to Mississippi, and they had to first figure out like where it was going. So it was like a big to-do of like, there was a little bit of time. So I think we had about a month to pack up our place in California and go to Mississippi. So we didn't have much time for knowing that was the case. He did kind of volunteer for it, because it was kind of like an emergency. We need people there on deck. So he was the first person there to see the ship coming in. And so we were there for 11 months. And that is a whole other story, is that we weren't sure how long it was going to be. We were expecting it to be maybe 3 years because of the huge, like it was a huge project to redo that ship. But it ended up being 11 months because of tax purposes and like things with this company. So we actually didn't know that we were coming back so soon. They only gave us a 2-week window from when we left Mississippi to when we had to come back to California. So we've had a lot of very quick moves. So we usually don't get too much notice. And so we were there for a year. It was fun. I don't think that would be a place I would want to live long term just because the humidity, oh my goodness. But we did enjoy it while we were there. He worked most that year. So this is in 2017, right? 2017 was the year that we were in Mississippi. And so he worked the majority of the time that we were there. So that year he was working pretty much 12-hour days every single day. I think we had counted, he had, I think, 9 days off total for that whole time that he was down there. And that was mostly because of like a holiday. So he was exhausted. So we really didn't get to explore anything together. That was the year that I ended up going on a month-long road trip by myself across the East Coast because he was working all the time. And so it was an interesting season in our life. And so that's like a little glimpse of like what it's been like living this way. So he, like right now, we're comfortable. You know, I don't see us moving anytime soon, especially if we have like certain contracts go the right way that we need to. So we are here for a while and it's just nice. I feel like I got in a very long tangent, but gave you a little bit of glimpse into our background. We just have moved quite a bit in our life, and you know, it is what it is. It makes it exciting. I think it would be a much different story if we had children, but since we don't, we are just like living an adventure and enjoying it while we have it, you know? So I feel like I don't know where this building is. There's like all these little roofs. This puzzle is quite tricky. It's not too much to work from, but also I feel like I'm just not focusing on it. So it makes it challenging. Also, I can't find the pieces that connect this. Like I'm missing a piece here. But anyway. Oh, does this go here? Still figuring out, I'm missing something. Like once I get to the very soft, there's like a portion of sky. I mean, it looks like a very beautiful puzzle. It just is a little trickier than I had bargained for this morning. It's, you know, it is what it is. I feel like that's my ongoing saying, like, can't change it. Oh well. Oh, here we go. Yay! Okay, that's exciting. That is the piece I was wanting. And then we have this building, just this one. All right. Oh, I have all these roof pieces. I forgot to pull all these out. Okay. I don't know if you can see them. Maybe. So recently, next topic, I've been in I've been calling it like a puzzling frenzy. It's just been wild since the start of the year. I just got in the groove that I don't know, I was just like wanting to do tons of puzzles, get a head start on my New Year's goals of finishing, 120 puzzles this year, but also like the piece count goal is quite extensive this year. So I decided to just do puzzles. Like I was in like the groove, like every single night I'm sitting down doing puzzles, and it's been great. I think I've done over 20 puzzles already. It's only the 23rd, 24th. So I've been doing quite a lot of puzzling and some larger piece counts. I mean, not like huge piece counts, but bigger for me. So I normally only do maybe 2 to 3 1,000 piece puzzles. This year's goal is to do around 4 a month. And already for this year, I've done, I think 5 1,000 pieces. It's 4 or 5. I know it's more than 4. So I think it's 5 1,000 pieces so far, and it's been great. You know, I haven't really struggled with any of them. I think I got in the groove of sorting by piece shape, and that has made a huge difference when I'm doing larger piece counts. So it's been a lot easier to manage than what I've done in the past, and I'm just excited about it. And I've done so many good puzzles. I should have my end of January roundup video. It might come out a little early just because I'm pre-filming right now for our vacation, and I won't be doing many puzzles the last week because we will not be here. So I'm going to probably film that video today. Oh, I got a sneeze. I have been doing a ton of different puzzles, which has been really fun, but I realized that I ran out of 300-piece puzzles. This is one of the last ones I have. I have one more that I just purchased, and other than that, like, my 300-piece collection is completely dwindled, and I do have quite a few 500 pieces, and that's to help me with some speed puzzling practice. I think I'll do quite a bit of that in February because I am going to the Nationals at the end of March, which I'm so excited for. I know I'm going to be able to see a lot of puzzle friends, so that'll be super fun. Some I've met before, some I haven't, so it's going to be a really good time. If you are going to Nationals, I'd love to say hi. Just know that I'm a little awkward sometimes in person. I am definitely more of an introvert, but you're welcome to say hello. I might be at a booth for a little while, so once I know more about that, I'll let you know, but I might have like a designated spot to go in case you want to say hello. So I think it'll be a really fun little trip. It's only for a couple days that I'll be down in California. I don't know if I'll see any friends down there that I've met, like I was friends with when we lived there, but I think it'll be just a fun time. I'm excited. So I do have some 500 pieces, a lot of Ravensburgers that I've bought recently with, I had a bunch of gift cards from Puzzle Warehouse that I've just been saving. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna use them for a bunch of 500 pieces. So that's what I did. And so I can do some practice. So I might do a video on that. But the issue with doing the videos during like a practice run is that if the battery dies, I'm not gonna stop my puzzling. So you might only see like a portion of the puzzle being done. So I might do that style of video sometime in February. I think it'd be fun. But also I wanna just not be last. That's my goal for going. You know, I don't anticipate winning. Maybe I'll get to finals. I just don't wanna be the worst, you know? Where people are like, oh wow, I thought she was a really good puzzler, and then I'm like in last place. So I don't think I will be, but you know, I just want to do decent, you know? So currently my speed puzzle goal? No, my speed puzzle, so currently my speed puzzling time to beat for myself has been 68 minutes, so an hour and 8 minutes. So I think I'm doing well, you know, I'm not going to be the worst, which is like, wouldn't be the worst thing, you know, because someone has to be last, but I just don't want it to be me. So that is my current plan. Oh, look at the buildings are coming together, and now I have these softer shades. We have like gray and like these white style buildings, so I think I'll do that next. So that's my current plans. I think we might do another trip in this year. We do want to go to Maine. We just don't know if that's in the works right now or just like the when. You know, I do think we'll go to Maine this year. We just don't know when exactly. And our family, of course, is like, when are you guys coming to visit? Like, let us know. Is it July? Is it August? Is it the spring? And we're just like, we're not gonna really plan on any type of month because things can always change. And with Dave's job, he has a little less freedom now. So we have to anticipate it like much further in advance, and it's like a little bit more of a process because there aren't many people in this port with him. So if he leaves, they have to send someone else in his place. So it is quite an ordeal for us to go on vacation now, where before it was super easy. You know, we could just plan it. He gets a little 2 weeks notice at work and it's super quick. Now we have to do a little bit of prep work at least like a month or two in advance. So I will say we are usually last minute planners when it comes to vacations. I think there was one time we were going to Lake Tahoe, and that was one of our favorite vacations, but we had gone in, it was the beginning of May one year, and we booked it like the week before for this week-long Lake Tahoe trip. And when we had gone, it was like super snowy still, and because we were right on, what was it, Squaw Valley? So we were on, it was like a mountain. So it was still super snowy, they were still skiing, and it was a great trip, but it was so last minute, and it was a good time. And then actually when we had returned, 2 days later, we found out like my sister was in town in Las Vegas, and she's like, hey, you should come visit. My brother-in-law is a professional arm wrestler, so he was going to Worlds. So she was like, hey, he qualified. We're gonna be in Las Vegas. You wanna visit? So we ended up going to Las Vegas like that weekend. Once we got back, we had no preparation for that trip. So it was a busy little time. But anyways, I don't know where I got off on that tangent. Other than that, we're just a spontaneous couple, which is fun on some cases, you know? I don't really recommend only having 10 days to move. That was a new one for us. So, making some progress. There's like this little banner over here, and I can't, like that? I just don't know where it goes. I know it's over here. Oh, no, it's over here. Look at that. Okay. And then there's another one over here somewhere. I don't know what they're supposed to be. Are they like things of laundry? I don't know. Oh, and then this is here. Okay, oh, it's coming together. You are over here. I was well, obviously I knew this is a small puzzle, but usually for like a 300 Ravensburger, I'm used to like the large format. So having a 300 piece in this regular format is very interesting, because it's really not like surface wise a big puzzle. So it's fun. I like it. So I know some of you are also doing a low buy this year. I'm curious of how you're doing. I feel like right now a lot of brands are launching up for like spring collections. And so it's so tempting. Like, anyone else see the Ravensburger new collection for the year, especially their circle of color puzzles? I want every single one. If you haven't seen them, I'll try to link the catalog down below in case you are curious or just want to see what they got. So their circle of color puzzles this year are stunning. Oh my goodness. So they have a black background with then the color on top, which it just makes the color pop so much more, and I think they are going to be beautiful. So I'm excited for those, but I'm also, again, trying not to buy too many puzzles. I'm trying to get my to-do list down to under 100. I feel like that might be part of why I'm doing like a puzzle frenzy right now, where I'm just doing a ton of puzzles, because I'm trying not to buy too many until I get below that number. And so I started off the year with like 154 puzzles. I'm currently under 130, so that makes me excited, but there's always puzzles coming in from brands and such, and so part of me is wanting to maybe buy one or two for myself, and so that's not right. That's not the right puzzle piece. That didn't go there at all. And so being on a low buy when you have a puzzle channel is quite hard. I am saying I'm doing a lot of puzzles that have been on my shelves for quite some time, so it is very successful. I just do kind of want to maybe purchase something new, but also because, okay, for my channel, haul videos do so well. Not so well that it actually makes up the cost for buying the puzzles, but they do really well. So I kind of want to film a puzzle haul video. That means also accumulating more puzzles that I do not need right now. So I'm doing okay with the low buy, but we'll see how long it lasts. That's my thoughts currently right now. I feel like this would be a very distinct puzzle piece. I'm just gonna grab that real quick because it's right here. Cool. Here we are. Oh, and this, I'm gonna grab this one too. Luckily though, I am really fortunate because as the business side of things on my channel, I've been getting a lot of new contacts with brands, which is always fun. I do have some paid content coming up soon, which is very exciting for me. It's actually not for YouTube, it's for Instagram. So I am having a sponsor for my stuff over there, which is really exciting because for me, this really doesn't give me any type of income, and it can be quite an expensive hobby. So it's nice that I'll actually be able to make a little bit from it, which is very exciting on my end. So I think it's going to be awesome to have at least a few new contacts, eventually maybe making it so I can have the channel support itself. I mean, right now it doesn't cost me too much other than the puzzles on occasion. The amount that I made from AdSense from YouTube pays for a lot of the admin stuff. So it pays for like all the licensing for music and the Canva and like all the things that I need to have my channel function. So it does pay itself, but it doesn't really give me much wiggle room for buying a lot of stuff. So part of me is curious about experimenting with like a paid portion of this. So it's either like a YouTube subscription or you can do like a Patreon type thing, just so that I can have more puzzles to have on the channel without it being a paid sponsorship from a brand. So I think that's something I'm contemplating going forward. I mean, I know a lot of people, and I'm the same, where I don't want to pay for something that's already free. So I want to make sure that it would be worth it for those who want to support my channel. You know, it'd be a great way for you to do that. And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Like even like $1 per person, like, or $1 from a few people would be more than what I'm making currently. So it'd just be nice to have a little bit more help with the channel financially. So that way I can, again, do more puzzles and get things that I want. And it's not really more for me to make an income from it. It's just really for me to be able for the channel to thrive and to try new brands and to try maybe different puzzle styles and just be up on maybe some newer releases. And so all that, of course, costs money. And, you know, it'd be nice for me to be able to do that. So it's something I'm considering. I just want to make sure that it would be worth it for those who may be interested. And we'll see. We'll see if that comes soon. But I think it'll be something worth looking into. So I'm just putting that out there as feelers. I know many people, especially right now with like inflation and everything that's going on, it's not in a lot of people's budget, but if it is, that'd be cool. Anyways, that's just my little tangent on that. That's something that I've just been considering. And we'll see if it actually happens. You know, I'm completely fine. I have plenty of puzzles and I still have like a puzzle budget for myself. It just would be nice to be able to try some new things, and that might be quite pricey, you know, or even just new equipment. I desperately want to get another tripod because right now I have this tripod, which is great. I feel like it is not the best balanced tripod, so it's constantly like falling over on my head. And also I'd love to get a different tripod for my phone, especially if I wanted to do like overhead content for like Instagram. That'd be great. Maybe another light, you know, there's just like other stuff that I would love to have. But you know, this really is just a hobby at this point, and that is the wrong place for this puzzle piece. So those are my thoughts. I feel like I'm just very rambly at this point, so I'm just going to puzzle for a minute. But I feel like this is coming together quite, now that I have the buildings together, it's coming together, so that's good.
Yay! Okay, that's a good piece. So this is like the halfway point for the puzzle, because then from here up is the sky, and it looks to be about half and half. So not too bad. Nope.
All right, I think now I'm gonna move to the Eiffel Tower and the balloon that's there. There's a couple balloons, but not too many. It's a lot of sky pieces, which we'll see. We'll see how this goes. It's very like pastel and soft. I can see this being, ooh, there we go, a relaxing puzzle to do when you're not filming it, you know? I think also it'd be a fun one to do again. I do realize that my 300 pieces get so much more use than 1,000 piece, which when I always look at shopping for puzzles, I never want to pay full price for a smaller piece count, you know, because it's not going to give me much puzzling time. But then when I think about it, I'm like, my Santorini Sunset from Ravensburger, which is my most redone puzzle, I've done probably about 7 times right now. And so that one has gotten way more use than any of my 1,000 pieces. So I think actually investing in good 300 or 500 piece puzzles is definitely, for me, like worth the investment, if that makes sense. So I have been really enjoying this piece count for the times that, you know what, I want a puzzle, but I don't have the mindset to do something big, and I don't want to start something and have it sit overnight. So, ooh, yay, that's good. So I've been enjoying this piece count a lot, which I don't know why I got on that tangent other than the fact that I've been enjoying this puzzle and I want to do it again probably in the future. One puzzle I've loved recently, oh my goodness. Sorry, I need to take a sip of coffee. One puzzle that I loved recently, it's called, Crafter's Table, Knitter's Corner. I'll put it on down below. But it is one that was by Ravensburger. It's the one that has like a ton of different colored yarns at the bottom, and it's just like colorful and bright, and there's so much to work from. I loved that puzzle. I already want to do it again. I actually own it in a 1,000 piece, so I'm very excited to do it again. Like, I loved it so much. So that's one I would highly recommend if you liked if you've done the artist palette. I feel like it's very similar vibes, maybe even the same collection, but I loved it so much. So that is a puzzle that I'll talk about also in my puzzle roundup for January, but that one I can see easily being done a few times in either piece count. Like, I really want to do it in the 1,000 piece because I want to already own it, but I think it's so much fun. So I loved it. It was a good time. I don't know. Ooh, it's definitely coming together. All these little wires from the balloons. There's also this little balloon. I don't know which one it is. Ooh, here's a piece of building. That's wrong. No, I think it is right. And this one goes here. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I feel like I have to finish this pretty quickly because since I am filming in this room, I'm realizing filming in the winter is kind of hard, which is why I've been doing a ton of voiceovers in a lot of my videos, because I can't really film while puzzling right now or like speak while puzzling because the heater is always on and the heater is right behind the camera. And so it picks up anything from that heater. So when I've been filming, sometimes if it's just like a quick like talking to the camera, I usually just do it in between spurts or I'll shut it off for a couple minutes. But then I realized for today's video, I didn't want it like to be constantly coming on and shutting off and being noisy behind you. So I actually have the heat off right now, which I'm fine. Like it's still 67 degrees, like I'm perfectly fine, but it might get cooled down in a little bit. So, you know, one of the other little quirks about filming right now is that I have to do it between heat, which, you know, it is what it is, but I wouldn't mind having some heat right now. Oh, there's another one over here. I feel like it goes here. It does. That's exciting. And then this one I think goes here and connects them. And this one is this balloon that goes somewhere here. And then we have the Eiffel Tower, which is almost done. So this is actually coming together quite well. Oh, here's another little piece of a balloon, which is this one, which goes up here. Okay. Oh, I think this now could be picked up and brought over. Yes! Okay. I feel like it's very quickly coming together. Oh, and then this goes here and connects. There we go. And then this one is here. No, that's not right, but it does go there. And it goes like right there. So this is actually the edge. Okay. Alright, I think now it's mostly just sky, which is all these like really soft colors. I will pull out the peachy and like this yellowish color. We'll see if that helps at all. There's some that are still like on the fence, but I'm just gonna leave them in there for now. Oh, and I have a little bit of balloon. That's exciting. Whew, we're getting down to it. I feel like once these pieces are together, it's really gonna look mostly done. We'll see. So as I mentioned, I'm gonna do some content over on Instagram. If you're not following me over there, I've been posting so much. So if you're ever wondering what I'm working on in between videos, that is the place to go. I know not everyone does Instagram, but that's where I've been going almost daily, which is really cool. I'll also be posting some of my trip there, probably on stories. So if you're wanting to see what I'm up to, that is the best place to go. Obviously I do talk to the Facebook group every once in a while. I am not as active over there, like commenting on everything, just because it's so busy. It's so much fun because it's such a good group. Like there's no drama. It's like everyone is just having a good time right now. We're doing a puzzle bingo and everyone's so supportive of each other. Like it's such a good vibe and such good people over in the Facebook group. I just can't comment on every single thing because I get tagged probably at least 30 to 40 times a day, like over there. And it's very cool to have so many people involved. But I just can't like be as active participating as I want to. So it just is a good time. But if you want to see like more daily stuff, Instagram is the way to go. I try to go there at least a few times a week. Right now I've been posting almost daily and I'm usually at least doing something in a story. So that is where you can go to find me on days I'm not here if you just like want more puzzle content. But in general, I just feel like Instagram is also so fun. There's so many fun puzzlers out there that I've connected with over the years, and it's a good vibe, you know? But I'm doing a couple new, very exciting announcements soon. So it's definitely a fun place to go if you want to see some cool things that are in the works. So that's all I can say on that. I suck at secrets, so I feel like brand communication is like very hard for me because I'm trying to follow all the rules, but also I'm really excited to share stuff with you. So, you know, I'm just gonna say Instagram is the way to go if ever you want to see what's happening on the other side of things. Anyways, that's my thoughts on that. Ooh, love this puzzle. Okay, so that took 2 seconds. I am now, I guess, filling in the gaps. I have some pieces that are like borderline colorful, not too many though. So like, feel like from here, I don't have too much to work with. Maybe I'll do the border and then I can fill in the gaps. I think that's my plan. So I feel like once the border is done, I'll have a lot more to work with. This may go here, as it does. My nose is so itchy. It's all right. Everything is so soft and pastel. This isn't well, actually, I don't mind sky. I've mentioned that quite a few times. I actually like doing it. It's super relaxing. You can just like slowly put in the pieces. If they don't work, move on to the next one. But I do think this style of sky is a little bit trickier just because there's really no clouds to work from. It really doesn't have much of a gradient. The colors are just kind of like a wash of watercolor, which is pretty to look at, but puzzling wise, I'm like, I gonna have to do like every single piece. Ooh, one thing that we are doing for Disney World, we're also super excited for. We've gone quite a bit, which we are so fortunate for over the years. We haven't gone since 2020 to Disney World, which, you know, it is what it is, but we haven't gone since like COVID such. And we have never done the fireworks, like at either Disneyland or Disney World. We've never done the fireworks. I think we did it once, kinda. It wasn't in front of the castle. It was over in Frontierland for a 4th of July celebration. They did like special fireworks where Fantasmic usually is. So it really wasn't fireworks. It was more the water show at the time for Disneyland, but we have never done Disney World fireworks. And so one thing I had surprised Dave with is that we are going for the after fireworks show dessert party. So we are having a bunch of desserts after the fireworks, and we have like a designated spot to go, because usually we don't do it because I'm like, ooh, crowds are low, let's just do 6 rides while everyone is waiting for the fireworks, you know. So we just have never really wanted to, but I think it'd be fun to actually do them once just to see what they're all about, you know. And so I'm excited for it. Oh wait, I forgot I still have right there. So it should be a good time. I'm excited. It's so close. Like, it's only a couple days away from me right now, and it's just going to be so much fun. And we were considering, if you are a Disney fan, they just relaunched their dining packages, and I was going back and forth for like days trying to figure out whether or not to do it. And I think we've decided we are not doing the dining package because it just forces you to eat more than what you would normally eat. So you're paying a premium on food that you weren't going to order in the first place. But if you had the dining package, well, of course I'm going to try to make the most of it. So now you're just like overeating on food that you didn't want in the first place. So we have decided to not do the dining package and just like buy food as it is, and that just makes it so that I don't have to eat a ton. If you are wanting an update on the whole eating situation, I've been going to a dietitian because I do have some medical things that can help with some diet stuff. And so one of the things that we had realized was that I just wasn't eating enough. So I wasn't eating 3 proper meals. I would eat like maybe a couple snacks during the day and then eat dinner. And so we changed things a lot around. So now I actually have like 3 small meals a day, and it's very more like protein based and vegetables, and like she does want me to have some carbs each day, so that way like my blood sugar isn't like spiking and dropping and spiking and dropping. So I do have like a little bit of carbs for each meal as well. So it's a very like well balanced meal every meal, you know, with an occasional like piece of fruit or something during the day. So I didn't want to do the dining package and then just be like, well, my diet's out the window because I want to like make the most of this meal plan. So when we go to Disney, most times, I would say 9 times out of 10 for lunch, I'm eating the kids' meal, and that has always been like perfect amount of food. So I'm excited to try to do Disney somewhat healthy. You know, of course I'm gonna do maybe a treat or 2, but I want to not break what I'm currently doing because it is working. I feel better. I have lost a little weight. So I've lost around 10 pounds so far. It's been about a month. So I'm pretty happy with the progress, because for me, losing weight, pretty impossible since I do have a thyroid condition. I also have like a hormone condition. So it's just like, for me, it's just nice to see any progress. So that's the update on that. And I did it before the new year because I feel like everyone's new year, new me, but I'm just like, I don't want to wait a couple weeks to start something that I should have done. I do want to get better about exercise. And I do have first a gym in my house, which is, we have an elliptical, which for me, it hurts my hips, but we also have the rowing machine, which I do enjoy. So I need to get back into that. Or just in general, I just want to go walking, but for me, walking on a treadmill is not the same as going for a walk. Like, I'd much rather like go for a walk or go for a hike. I'm much more into exercise that is, I don't know, like not stagnant. Like, I don't want to be in a gym. I want to go hiking or go biking or go for a walk or go canoeing or go swimming. You know, I'm much more like wanting to be in the environment versus in a gym. So I'm just making excuses at this point, but I just am hoping for nice weather in the spring, so that way, oh, I found the last edge piece. So that way I can actually go biking, hiking, and all the stuff that I want to do. So that's my current plan. I actually did go biking quite a few times last year. So I do want to do that a little bit more this year. It's just a lot easier when it's nicer weather. So I just need to suck it up and go upstairs into the gym. Maybe should I sort it by piece shape? It won't take me long. So I'm going to do that real quick over here. There aren't too many of them, but I do think it'll be helpful. I have no idea. Oh, is it this one? Yeah. I'm just gonna sort them all around the edge here. That way I at least have some organization. I think you just having them lined up, it just makes it easier than just like the chaotic method of just like scrambled all over the table. Anyone else? Let me see here. Got these ones. We'll go over here. So how is everyone doing on their New Year's resolutions? For me, I've actually been doing okay, but I also have the mindset right now where some are just going to be held off because I'm crazy. If you read my blog for Puzzle Warehouse, I talk about how each year I have the amount of goals as the year's number. So it started in 2019. I had 19 goals for 2019. And then for 2020, I had 20 goals. And then in 2021, 21, you know, so on and so forth. So this year I have 24 goals, which I will say, it sounds crazy, but it's not like a bunch of like improvement goals or something that's like a full year project. Some of it is something like a one and done, like go camping, perfect, done. Or join a community band. So I joined a band, check, you know, so it's not like a full year of me doing something for an end result. It's just like little bits of things that I want to do for the year. And if I do half of them, usually you try to go for half. Like I don't expect to do all 24 things. But if I did half, it means that I had a really productive year. I maybe had some self-improvement. I did some things that I was excited wanting to do. And so that is my strategy. Maybe not the best strategy, but it still makes me feel accomplished and that I've had a successful year if I at least did a few of the things that I said I was going to. So this year I have quite a few goals. And again, some of them are heavier than others, but I feel like I'm going to do well, at least on some of them. Some are vacation style, so go back home to Maine is one of them. I don't want to mention all of them here, but some of them are health related, some of them are puzzle related, some are just like personal. But I feel like I'm doing okay. You know, I'm not doing the worst. Definitely have the mindset still of like trying to be on track of things. And so I know not everyone does that style of planning for the year, but it just makes me feel good, you know? But I'm just curious of how your New Year's resolutions are going. Because when I did the blog, I think it was something like 23% of the people who set New Year's resolutions quit them within the week. And then it was like 75% of people don't complete them at all for the year. So, you know, just keeping you accountable, you know. So I don't remember all my ones from last year. There was some travel ones, like every year I always want to hit 2 new states. So last year that was one of the goals, and I did hit 2 new states. I went to Montana and I went to Oregon, which Oregon, it's a stretch because I only was there for like a day, but it still counts. For me, it doesn't count if it's just an airport stop, like this for our our Walt Disney World trip. We are stopping in Minnesota, which is the first time for us for an airline, but that does not count as it being a trip to a new state. So one of my bucket lists, in case you're just curious, is to hit all the states in the US. I'm currently, I think, down like 7, so I'm pretty close. So each year I've been trying to get to a couple. I don't know if I'll get to any new ones this year, just because I already have all the travel plans for the year so far. So eventually we'll get to the rest of them, but that was one goal that I had last year, was just to hit 2 new states. The year before, that was also the case, and I ended up going to Alaska and Washington. So that's like the style of goal setting that I do for myself at the beginning of the year. It just is fun, you know, to be like, what do I want to do this year? And then if you do it, great. You know, it's a little step in the right direction, or it's just like a memory that you're going to have in the future. And if you don't do it, then you know what? Maybe next year. I feel like this here? Sure. I feel like I'm rambly at this point. Mostly because I know the puzzle's almost done. But also I'm starting to get sleepy. So my goal is to stay up as long as I can before a nap, because we might go back to the room on a Disney day, you know, for a few minutes. Dave does not nap well, so it takes him a long time to fall asleep. So him napping is like really doing anyone any favors, because then when he wakes up he's tired. And I'm the type of person, like, I'll hit get smacked in the head by exhaustion, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I like can't keep my eyes open, and I'll like pass out for like 5 minutes, sometimes even less. Like, it's just like I need to close my eyes for a minute, and so I'll fall asleep for like 5 minutes and wake up and be like wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, like I had the best nap of my life. Dave hates it, because say we're gonna go like nap, or like especially on like a travel day, be like, oh perfect, let's just go back, take a nap for a little bit, so that way we can do like nighttime stuff. For me, I'm like done with my nap within minutes, and he's still trying to fall asleep. So he's like, oh, that's annoying, because now he feels bad because he's not falling asleep. Anyways, I'm just saying, I love naps. Ooh, I'm almost done. I don't know where this little guy is. This has been a fun puzzle. I like that it is the normal standard size pieces, but it's a 300 piece. I really like that. Like, I love large format as well, but this one is nice because it doesn't take up much space. Or if you are trying to do speed puzzling, it's the same size pieces as their traditional puzzles. So I actually think I might try to see if they have more of this style, because that would be really nice for speed puzzling, to try to do some smaller piece counts, just so you can like get in the habit of being so fast, versus trying to always be fast with a 500 piece, or the piece that you're going to go with. Ooh, here we go. Ooh, this one goes here. Home stretch, home stretch. This one goes here, maybe? And final piece. Nope. Here we go. Yay! That was a fun one. That was really nice. It's nice and like soft I liked it a lot, and of course it has amazing quality. But I do kind of want to see if there's more 300 pieces from Ravensburger in this size. For one, packaging wise, it's nice and compact, you know? So that is today's video. If you like this style, please let me know down in the comments. Comment on any of the things that I mentioned before. Make sure to check me out on Instagram if you want to see some daily updates. And that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm probably going to have some coffee, have some breakfast, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.